tell my tale to those who ask.
Hey there, everyone. I am the Tippy Toe Zombie. I like to limbo. Often I fall on people's heads, and I'm your host here on In-House Voice Acting. Welcome. This week we're talking about Scott McNeil, who's in my top 10 favorite voice actors. Scott McNeil is kind of underrated in my opinion. He's very versatile, and he plays a character who I love to imitate as an aspiring voice actor, Waspinator in Beast Wars. For example, why universe hate Waspinator?
Why universe hate Waspinator?
Today we're going to be talking about Beast Wars, aka Scott McNeil's resume. We're also going to be talking about a role of his that's been played by another voice actor, and some people argue over which person did the better job. And we'll be talking about a few of his more well-known roles and some lesser-known favorites of mine. Beast Wars is amazing. For any of you who don't know, Beast Wars Transformers was a sequel to the original Transformers cartoon from the 80s that featured the descendants of the Autobots and Decepticons, the Maximals and Predacons, as the protagonists and antagonists who could transform into animals instead of vehicles. And as great as the original voice of Megatron, Frank Welker, the voice of Fred Jones from Scooby-Doo,
I think we should split up.
the workingest man in animation, did,
Wait, I still function.
David Kaye's Megatron is even better.
Enter the dragon.
We're here to talk about Scott McNeil, who played 4 very distinct sounding characters in Beast Wars, 3 of which he would continue to voice in the sequel series Beast Machines. I've already mentioned Waspinator, who was added to the show by the toy companies against the wishes of the writers, and they took it out on him in universe by having him constantly being destroyed, which ended up leading to the fans and the writers growing to love him. But he's just one of the characters Scott McNeil played in Beast Wars. We also have Silverbolt,
I think my name is Silverbolt.
a character who acted like a noble knight and had a very memorable romance with the character of Black Arachnia that eventually led to her leaving the Predacons to join the Maximals. Dinobot was probably the most well-known redemption story in Beast Wars, with him joining the Maximals in the first 2 episodes and gradually being shown to grow more and more noble. When we're first introduced to Dinobot, he challenges Optimus to a duel to the death for control of the Maximals.
Dinobot, maximize!
And by the end, he sacrifices himself for the sake of his Maximal allies. Rat Trap is a character who is slow to trust, and he tends to be the most likely to question his allies' decisions, as well as being a bit of a worrier.
We're all gonna die.
Rat Trap and Dinobot have a ton of interaction with one another, as they are constantly fighting, with Rat Trap calling Dinobot, Dinobot calling Rat Trap, never be able to tell that it was someone talking to themselves if you didn't know ahead of time. The Transformers Hall of Fame lets in a few characters every year based on who the people in charge of Transformers think deserve it most, along with 2 characters who were voted on to be put in the Hall of Fame by the fans. The first time any 2 characters were voted into the Hall of Fame, it was Waspinator and Dinobot, which is the biggest sign of how much of an impact Scott McNeil has had on the Transformers fandom. Scott McNeil has had several other roles that have had a huge impact on me, such as some of his lesser-known roles like Suezo from Monster Rancher, and Wrath from Mummies Alive.
You wouldn't understand.
The ones that everyone knows about, like Wolverine in X-Men Evolution.
You gave the wrong animal, bub.
Koga in Inuyasha.
A giant demonic aura passed overhead.
His well-known role outside of Beast Wars is probably his role in Dragon Ball Z as Piccolo in the dub of the series done by the Ocean Group. DBZ fans often argue who was better for the various characters in the show. Their Ocean voice actors or their Funimation voice actors. For the case of Piccolo, this means a choice between Scott McNeil,
Beam cannon fire!
Christopher Sabat.
Makonko Sapo!
And it's honestly a hard choice, because these are two amazing voice actors. I'm gonna be honest, I would probably say that I prefer Christopher Sabat's Piccolo, in spite of the fact that I'm a bigger fan of Scott McNeil. I love Christopher Sabat, but his roles tend to all sound pretty similar, though he does have some range, given that he also plays Vegeta in Funimation's Dragon Ball Z dub. But Scott McNeil has amazing range that he has at times illustrated by imitating well-known characters like Yukon Cornelius,
If only I had me some rope!
or Hermie,
Will dental floss do?
from the Ronkin Bass Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Christmas special. Scott McNeil is an amazing voice actor with a humongous range. If you're wanting any recommendations after this other than the ones I've already mentioned, I would recommend Mucha Lucha, where he played Senor Hasbina. After you've checked out everything here, I say you should start exploring Scott McNeil's career on your own. There is so much to find. Until next time, voiceover, and out!